Hello, I'm Scott Bogie here with the unit Lester Batres Jr. ahead of his upcoming fight against Hiram Chavez. How are you doing today?
Doing great, doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. And how are you feeling ahead of this upcoming fight? I know this is kind of like a redemption fight.
I'm feeling great. Yeah, just staying ready. I mean, obviously, I was already in shape. I just fought
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, just focusing on recovering, sharpening up the little small things that we saw in the last fight, and yeah, feeling ready to go.
And how did you find that last fight? Because I was watching that and I was surprised it went to split decision. And then when it came out to be the Brett that got the decision, I was shocked, let us say that.
Yeah, I mean, you're not the only person that has said that. I've had a lot of people say that they thought that that was my fight. But I will say, it was a close enough fight that I do feel that there was some moments that he definitely could have stole like some of the rounds. At least in the eyes of the judges, maybe. But I think that like if you really like think about points and
Yeah.
technicality, I think I won it. But in the eyes, I could definitely see like how it could look, like how he had stole some of the rounds. Especially with that last trip that he hit in the last 10 seconds. I really think that that's what really won over the judges and yeah, just a small mistake, man. Like literally a split decision, a split second decision, and yeah, cost me the win. Um, but yeah, it's just one of those things, man. I just had to take it as a learning lesson, take it as something that what I'm saying, just to fix small things. Can't let
Yeah.
that be so close. Can't let it be up to the judges. So
And
yeah.
and you're not sitting there dwelling on it. You got back up there and you got a fight literally like 2 months later, like 1 month later. I think this is like on the 23rd and the last one was on the 23rd. So is that what you're wanting? Is you weren't just wanting to dwell on that loss, you're wanting to get back in that win column.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to get right back in the win column because I mean, again, my goal is still like I'm trying to get to the
Yeah.
UFC this year. So, man, that just was a setback. So to me, in my head, of course, I took like a good week. I mean, I needed to let my body recover and to let myself think on some things because I didn't want to like take a fight and be like because and maybe just be like because I felt like my ego was hurt or anything
Yeah.
like that. So I kind of wanted to take some time to myself for like that first week after to be like, okay, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? And to be honest with you, um, yeah, to be honest, I don't feel like hurt or mentally like I'm trying to prove myself. It's nothing like that. It's just more that I'm trying to keep the timeline the same, And so my decision was, hey, like let's get this fight. Let's see what we can do because I'm trying to stay on it, stay on the
Yeah.
ball. I mean, I'm already in shape. I feel like I feel like instead of letting my mind get back to like living life and getting comfortable, I was like, nah, fuck that. Like I'm trying to stay in this mode, in this fight mode, and maybe that's what the calling was. Maybe that's what God wanted me to be on was to not be like so complacent.
Yeah.
And so that was more my line of thinking whenever I decided, you know what, like let's do it, I'm ready.
And then you just have to look at that card, and there's just so many killers for being just maybe not just a number event, but being a challenger series. You have you on the card, you have Mika White, you have Josh Watzinger, you've got a Fury title on the line. What does it feel like being on that card?
I mean, it feels good for me. I've definitely, all of that's great. It's a great card. I fought on, I mean, shit, the night that I fought, it was a banger card.
Yeah,
I'm used to that. It's just, man, for me, it's just more like, man, like I'm trying to show everybody. I don't want, people that are watching me or my fans to watching me thinking like, wondering, like left wondering to be like, man, what is he thinking? Is he done? Thinking that I'm out,
yeah.
So for me, it's like, nah, like I want everybody to know, like, look, it don't matter what the decision was, like I am not broken, like if anything, that shit just made me stronger,
Just
you know.
motivates you even further.
Exactly. It's just a little bit more fuel. It's something that it just gave me a little bit more fire. little bit more fight in me. And man, it's a great card, like you said, like Michael White. That's one of my good friends. I've known him since high school. A lot of the guys fighting on that card, I know, and so it's a great card, and it's honestly it's an honor to fight alongside these guys. But yeah, man, I'm just excited to get going.
And how does the preparation for this fight, how more difficult is it than the previous fight? Because it's short notice, he's not got as long to work it out, and he's only had one professional fight. So there's not much, and that finished in the first minute. So there's not much professional tape anyway to be able to look into.
Yeah, so he has had some fights in some other organizations that we were able to watch. They were a little hard to find because you have to buy
Yeah.
like pay to watch it. But yeah, we were able to find some film on the guy. Um, yeah, for me, really though, we're just focusing on the small things that we noticed in the last fight, which was like, my shoulder conditioning, like my boxing conditioning, and then for me on my own, just thinking about like, okay, like let me not set myself up to get tripped with that inside
Yeah.
trip, because that's what essentially cost me the fight. So it's just really just making those small adjustments. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you saw the fight. I was technically better than this guy. You know, I should have won that fight. It was just that was on me. I made some small mistakes and some small things. Honestly, some small things in my camp that ended up happening that weren't optimal, and I did not make the adjustments early enough. So after that fight, it was like, okay, let me make these adjustments because clearly some things had changed, with my head coach having work whenever or during our main session. So now during that time that I wasn't able to train, I'm going to find some other training at some other places so I can get some work in. But just small adjustments, man. Honestly, like yeah, I feel honestly even more prepared than I was in my last, just because of those small things and that we noticed. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready.
And do you feel like you're able to get that stoppage in the fight, and that puts you back on track for what you were looking for, which is that contender series this year?
Exactly. That's the plan. Yeah. We think that we go out there, we go put on a show, we go finish this guy, and it's gonna kind of like get everybody to forget about what just happened with this split decision. And even if people don't forget it and they go and watch that fight, they're gonna see
Yeah,
that that was a good fucking fight, and arguably like I could, it could have gone either way. Could have been a draw. Could have been my win. And then also you got to think about who that guy was, man. He has had over 100 fights.
yeah,
I'm barely on my 20th fight. So you got to think about where I'm at in my career and where he's at in his career and how I was able to deal with him. So honestly, I think that at the end of the day, it was one of the best things that could have happened to me. Um, Not only for the drive, for the fuel that I gained from it, but also to know where I'm at with these compared to these guys that have been in the scene, that have fought all around. Um, so yeah, at the end of the day, brother, I'm grateful. Like this is all in God's plan. I'm having faith in it, and I'm just here for the ride.
And what got announced, I think it was last weekend, on it got leaked on the UFC's Spanish version, was Ilya is getting his lightweight debut against Charles Oliveira. What do you make of that matchup?
Oh, Ilya and Charles Oliveira. Oh man,
Yeah,
I actually haven't even heard about that. Are you serious?
I
So,
don't think the UFC's officially announced it, but it was on the Spanish version of the UFC last weekend.
really, man, that is interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I love Ilya. I love Ilya, but I also love Charles. So that's a hard. I think that if it stays on the feet, I'm gonna have to give it to Ilya. Homie has good boxing, good stand up, and some power behind those hands. You can't sleep on it. But Charles Oliveira, dude, that's a bad guy, you know. So it's kind of hard to say on it. It's just kind of like who zigs, who zags, wrong first. And
Yeah.
it's just gonna be one of those, like it's a game of inches. So just like how my fight was, man, it's a game of goddamn inches, dude.
And
But
do
yeah.
you feel like that is the fight that is going to determine the next challenger for Islam? I think Islam said he wants to wait to see the outcome of the welterweight title, but do you feel like if he stays in the lightweight division, that is the next challenger, is that winner from Charles and Ilya?
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel that if they don't if Islam doesn't go up a weight class, then yeah, I mean it's gonna have to be one of those two. I mean, who else? You know what I mean? Like who else is there to challenge Islam? That man has already kind of gone through all
Yeah.
of the top ranked guys, so at this point it just makes sense. Like give him like give Ilya that shot, give Charles that shot. But I honestly think that man, they need to give Islam that opportunity to get that second belt at that other weight class. You know, he's already how many times has he defended his title? Like three
Yeah.
times
You
already.
have Volkanovski, you have, I think Volkanovski twice. You
Yeah.
have Moicano, Dustin, so that's at least four.
Yeah, that's at least like four defenses. Like, come on, let him get his second belt. You know, but if for some reason that's not what they're trying to do right now, then yeah, I mean, it just Ilya or Charles, let's go.
And what did you make? I don't know if you did you watch the UFC last weekend?
No, I didn't get to watch it. I was busy.
So there was a fight. Torres Finney made his UFC debut. There was some controversy because one of the judges scored it 30-27 because of all of the damage that the other guy did compared to Torres, who I think one round he got four punches in total that got recorded. He was just mostly just holding him down on the canvas. What do you make of how they should be scoring fights? Are you more in favor of damage, or if you can hold it, the other guy has to defend it, so that should still be credited?
So that's a good question. I'm not gonna lie. So it depends on like what they define as like damage. Like if it's like a damaging shot, like it cuts you open and like it looks like man they're bloody and things like that,
Yeah,
then I would say that that counts for a lot. But like if they're just getting hit like in the stomach good and like getting hit and like it clearly isn't really phasing the other guy, then I can't really say that that's too much. Especially if like guy gets hit and then he goes and takes the guy down. I mean, I don't know. I would have to give that scenario to the guy who took him down, because maybe he took a shot, but he did use that to get in on him and,
yeah,
and take him down to control him. But that's a hard question because it depends like what you define by like damage. And so that's like where I mean, and honestly, like exactly with what you're saying, like that's what people can argue with my fight. It's like I had more control. Some people would say maybe he had more damage, but really he wasn't even really hitting me that much. It was just maybe in that last third round, but yeah, it's a hard question, man. It's a hard thing because you got guys who love striking and then you got guys who love grappling. So
yeah.
yeah, it's just one of those like a preference. So again, that's why you just can't leave it to the eyes of the judges.
Exactly. And do you feel like nowadays, obviously back in the day you did have those strikers versus grapplers, but that's no longer the case nowadays. You have to be that overall guy. There's no longer that base fighter that you need.
Yeah, it's just we're in a different age now. At this point, you could be, a specialist in one thing, of course,
Yeah, but you need to
but
have that overall game.
exactly, you have to have that overall game, man. You're just not gonna make it far in this game if you aren't good everywhere. You have to be good everywhere. And so that's why I think like as time goes by, MMA is just gonna become like a much harder and harder and harder sport because it's a game of inches. It's a game of inches, man.
Yeah,
And sometimes it's not even like points like sometimes you might get hit or you might hit the guy more but it looks like the guy is like pressuring you or it looks like the guy is winning because he's coming forward or like sometimes like the looks can be deceiving. You might be hitting them more but it might look like the guy is pushing the pace or whatever and then they give it to the other guy.
yeah,
So that's the thing about MMA that's I think different than a lot of these other combat sports is that a lot of the times it's just like who does it look like won this fight, like who's keeping it like looking like they're the dominant person. Um yeah, so it's just one of those, man. It's an interesting game.
And what did you make with Mika? Obviously, he was meant to fight on your card last time of Fury 103, but his opponent didn't show up for the fight. What do you make of fighters that just don't even show up? I know there was one at Cage Warriors back in December. The fighter didn't even show up for the weigh-ins.
Yeah, so that actually happened to me too. I had a guy who didn't show up to weigh-ins. I literally had cut weight, and I think I was about halfway through cutting weight, and then the dude calls the promoter and is like, "Hey, I'm not showing up, this and that." And man, I mean, that's a pain in the ass. I mean, and I
Yeah,
feel bad for Micah because I can speak from experience, man. It sucks going through that camp, preparing mentally, preparing physically, putting all that time in. And then you got to think how many people, how many events did you miss out on, like birthdays
yeah,
and celebrations and things that you're putting to the side for this fight, and then this dude doesn't even show up. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest, if you ask me, that's some. I mean, excuse my language, but that's some pussy shit. You
yeah.
know, I mean, you signed for that fight. You signed up for that fight, bro. Show up for the fight. What are you doing? And I feel bad for Micah. But at the end of the day, y- again, it's in God's plan. Micah was a what that did for Micah, because this is how I looked at it for me. What that did for Micah is that let him go through a whole fight camp and be a whole more extra fight camp deep.
Yeah.
Where he's training, and that sucks. But he's that much better. Today you gotta see the good in all the bad things.
And then with that good thing about Fury is they were still able to match him up quickly. He didn't have to sit around for a couple of months. He's back, got the fight on your card as well. Do you feel like what Fury is the main thing that's good about them is they take care of their fighters?
Yeah, man. Making sure that like he's keeping his fighters active, especially if they want to be. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know if I'm sure you do know, but Josh Van, man, Josh Van, whenever he was fighting for Fury, he was fighting actively, actively, actively,
yeah,
and look at where he's at now.
yeah,
I just fought, and they were able to give me a fight turn like a quick turnaround. They're doing what they can to take care of their guys, and this is why, man, Fury is one of the best promotions out there. That's why they got so many guys in the UFC. That's why this promotion is growing the way that they're growing, and it's because like look at how they hustle.
yeah.
Like us fighters, we hustle a lot, but man, we can't get to where we need to go if our promotion isn't hustling just as hard for us as we are for them. So man, shout out to Fury for getting Micah that fight so fast and getting me back in there so fast. I mean, we appreciate that.
And exactly, and it shows that activity does also get rewarded. Because just look at this weekend, for example, the featherweight title is on the line. Diego Lopez, he's only been in the UFC for like I think it was 730 days I read, and he's got that title shot. So if you
Yeah,
get in there, stay active, keep getting the wins, and you do get rewarded.
exactly, man. And honestly, and just right now, just kind of course, just bringing it back to my own situation. Like
Yeah,
that's why I feel like this split decision loss happened. Like this was supposed to happen because now this got me into a different mindset where it's like, nah, you know what? Screw taking fights every 3 months or screw taking fights every 6 months. Like I'm trying to like if I get out of that fight and I'm still like healthy,
yeah,
line me back up, like set me up. Like so now my mindset is completely changed. Like I'm getting back to that mindset of like the tournament where like I can fight back to back days. Like that's kind of where I'm at right now. And like you said, that's gonna get rewarded. Like what you put out into this world is gonna come back to you tenfold, especially if you're doing it for the right reason. And so yeah, I mean, congratulations. I mean, Diego Lopez, man. Like Lopez is another guy that came out of
yeah,
Fury.
exactly.
That's another guy that came out of Fury, and like look at what's happening. So man, shout out to Fury, dude. Like we're coming out here with we got different type of mentality, different type of talent, and we're only capable of doing that because Fury is out here working just as hard as we are, allowing us to do what we want to do. So yeah,
I'm just trying to think back. Will Lopez be the first champion in the UFC that's fought in Fury?
I think so.
Yeah,
Um, I want to say he would be the first champion out of Fury. So man, like let's go, Diego Lopez. Like put
the
us on the
first,
map.
the first of many that's to come.
Yeah, no, I believe it because man, he's been on a run. He's been on a tear. So man, like let's go. I'm excited. Uh,
Well,
yeah,
I'll let you rest up and get that victory come the I think it's April the 23rd. And then if you're out there, you're signed to Fury, and you want to face them at the May Fury 104 afterwards in May, just contact Eric Garcia and maybe they can get you hooked up.
Exactly. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, if I get out of that fight and I'm healthy, then yep, sign me up for the next one. I'll be talking to you soon again. But yeah, the fight's April 27th. April
The
27th.
27th.
Yes,
Well,
sir. Yes, sir.
is there anything else you're wanting to add or anyone you're wanting to shout out?
Yeah, I just want to say again, thank you to Fury for lining me back up and keeping me active. I very much appreciate that. Definitely needed in order to keep me on the path that I want to be on, like my timeline with my career.
Yeah.
Shout out to all my sponsors. Actually, I'm here. Experienced. I'm actually right here at one of my sponsors, Rise Modern Wellness, getting some infrared done. While doing this interview, getting some recovery done. Shout out to them. Shout out to Realign for another recovery sponsor. And shout out to all my other sponsors as well. Constantly showing support. Very much appreciated. Shout out to all my coaches. Shout out to you for always hitting me up and giving me the chance to speak my mind and to promote myself and everybody around me. Um, yeah, man, like just I appreciate all of the things that are around me that are helping me to get to where I need to be. But yeah, April 27th, guys, tune in. I'm not sure if it's gonna be on UFC Fight Pass. I haven't heard yet, but it will be on Fury Live or UFC Fight Pass. April 27th. Check us out.
Make sure you check it out. He will put on a spectacular performance, get back in the win column, and you'll be seeing him in the UFC very shortly.
Yes, sir. Let's go.